Hello everyone to my channel. In this video I am going to give an extended tour of my Factorio base. In this part of the factory I produce almost all buildable objects required to extend the base further. We have inserters, factories, pipes, you name it. Anything that can be placed on the map is produced in this section. It also has its own furnaces to smelt the iron and copper required for the production. Next to it we have the main resource bus. The resources continues to reach the main factory, and in the main factory I produce all the science pack colors. We have red, green science packs, blue science packs, gray, purple and yellow. All of these science packs are produced by individual parts. So individual that they all have their own smelters and factories individually from one another. It's important to know that this particular base is constructed using a belt system. Robots are used mainly for extending the base rather than use the robots to transport materials from one place to another. As you can see, all the base is functioning and almost all the robots are not being used. Almost all factories and furnaces are equipped with modules to improve the efficiency and speed. With this we improve the productivity of the whole base. It will require less resources and produce the items faster. So most of the furnaces and factories have the efficiency module, while with the beacons we improve the speed. Of course this will push up the power consumption, however that will be tackled by the nuclear power station. The main factory ended up cluttered over the time due to multiple extensions that were implemented over the time to boost its productivity. This is the first base which I have constructed manually. I tried to make the specific parts of the factory on a spacious area. However, with all the extensions implemented over the time, everything ended up cluttered together. It is still productive. However, for anyone who is not used with this layout, it's quite confusing. In the future I intend to rebuild this area to make it look better. All the resource packs travel on additional belts. They are joined together over 3 belts in order to provide them to the research labs. Just before the research labs, I have built the rocket silo together with a small factory which produces the rocket parts and have everything in one place. This way, the research labs will receive all the required science packs in order to perform all the required researches. Additional smelters were required in this area in order to feed the small factory that produces the rocket parts in this area. The oil productivity and refinement happens in this area. A number of oil wells are used in various areas of the map, which feed oil to these tanks. The tanks are used as buffers. In this way, if the productivity from the wells drops, I will have enough time to react and find alternative wells. We have a number of refineries. Once again, I'm using the productivity to boost the output, and together with beacons, the speed is improved as well. As I mentioned earlier, this is the first base that I have constructed manually, and it is quite hard to keep the fluid levels balanced across the heavy oil, the light oil and petroleum. Therefore, to make it simpler, I am converting most of the oils into petroleum. Of course, this is not efficient when it comes to producing the heavy air for the fuel, for the rocket fuel. However, at the moment I have enough to keep with the demand. This area over here is a very small power station, which at the moment is not being used. It has a switch that switches it on automatically when the charge level drops below 20%. I left this power station here because it was the first one that I built in the early stages of the game. At the moment, however, it's not being used at all. In this area we extract uranium. The sulfuric acid is transferred by train from the ancillary factory, which produces almost everything that we need. The uranium travels via this belt to the area where we process it in order to extract the uranium-235 and 238. In this area we also have the main power station, which at the moment produces 500 megawatts of power. Together with the solar panels, this power station is more than enough to feed the entire factory. The nuclear reactors are placed beside each other to provide nearby bonus, and therefore we need much less uranium to heat up the steam. These steam tanks are required to store steam and act as a buffer. In case something happens to the nuclear reactors, we will have enough steam to keep the power flowing. I have enough steam tanks over here to provide electricity for about 3 or 4 days in Factorio. I also built a number of solar panels and capacitors along the time. At the moment I have 25,000 capacitors and 14,000 solar panels. The solar panels produce close to 900 megawatts of power, while the capacitors can store nearly 130 gigajoules of energy. Apart from the main factory, I have also started constructing an additional factory a bit far away. First off, I constructed a sort of road with concrete. This will allow me to travel faster from the main factory to the extended one. To assist with the power, I have constructed 2 medium-sized power stations using oil. Together these power stations provide around 110 megawatt of power. They are not big, but they are good for backup. Once again, at the moment they are switched off because the switch is automated and they will switch on as soon as the charge level drops below 80%. This way I am using the solar panels and nuclear reactors as my primary source of power. I will only use these power stations as backup if required. At the moment I am also contemplating whether to remove the solar panels in order to make my base cleaner. The solar panels, as you can see, even though they provide power for free, they still take up a lot of space, which makes it more difficult to traverse the base. In this extended base, I am constructing rocket parts at the moment. It is a different layout from the main factory, however it's even more efficient. Once again, it's cluttered. It is my second attempt to build a rocket part facility. Although I have used blueprints to build this base automatically, I still did not cater for the required space. The rocket parts are then transported to the main rocket silo using a train. If you take a look at this map, you will see that I have almost full coverage for logistic robots. This way I was able to automate my artillery, which keeps the enemies at bay. This artillery is being fed from the requester chest, which is continuously requesting ammunition from the other storage chests. The main defense system is the laser turret, which does not require any maintenance or ammunition, it simply uses electrical power upon use. At the moment, every point is covered by artillery and laser defense. I don't have to worry about enemies spawning nearby that may come and attack me upon sensing the pollution. Pollution, on the other hand, is another serious topic, because once you add the efficiency and speed bonus, you will end up producing quite a lot of pollution, which will attract enemies from far away. The productivity of this base is modest at the moment. Productivity is measured by the number of green circuits produced within an hour. At the moment, this base is producing around 350,000 green electronic circuits. Power consumption is around 850 megawatt of power, closing into 900. Once again, as mentioned earlier, the solar panels and nuclear power station are the main entities which produce the power. If you like this video, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.